Hey there, everyone. It's Dr. Kim, and I wanted to share a process I just went through with a private client I was working with in a call. These 4 steps that we kind of were delineated about manifesting and creating. She was really feeling like overwhelmed, busy. There's so much going on. She said, so I live in these 15-minute increments in between all the stuff and appointments and, family things. And I was like, whoa, you are an infinite manifester and you could do so much better than that. And remember to use this ability. And one of the things I pointed out was when, people might have heard before people say, if you don't have 10 minutes to meditate, you need to meditate for 20 minutes. And that's because you are the projector and life is the movie screen. And if you don't like what you're seeing, you've got to go and hear and allow more stillness. If it's crazy and it's busy and it's chaotic and you're overwhelmed and you're like, but I don't have time. You've got to actually go into the projector room and put on the serenity reel so that what's being created will be in serenity and will be what really brings you that harmony. That, of course, creates health and abundance and fluidity. So the first step was you've got to release the victim, the one that says, but I can't have it, but I'm too busy, but it's not okay, but I have to do this and I have to do that. Sorry, I know we have weird lighting here. And I can't. And actually remember that I am the source. I am either opening to allow fluid creation of what's harmonious to me, or I'm blocking that by old ways of being and old perspectives of how I'm interpreting everything. And the second one is we've got to tap into our source and connect back with, why am I doing it this way? Why am I choosing this? Whenever we make a commitment, whether it's like, I'm going to go to these appointments, or I'm going to sign up for this, go to school, or I'm going to take this job, or whatever it is. And then we find ourselves like, oh, I'm so busy and overwhelmed. We got to look back on, do I really want to choose this? And for herself, she's helping her husband get to a bunch of appointments, and there's a lot of busyness because he's had some things going on. So is that really the choice you want to make? And source yourself back to, how is this my choice? Because it's never, I don't have a choice. Going back to number 1, which is releasing victim. Do I want to choose this? And why am I choosing this? Okay, I'm going to choose to show up for work today because right now that's where, I'm feeding my family and this is so important to me. And then connecting back to the inspiration of that. Why do I care so much about that? Why do I want to uphold that commitment? And for herself, I love my husband. This is who I want to be for him through this time together. And yes, I do want to choose this. Sometimes the answer is, no, I want to let this choice go and choose something different. When we kind of really look back on, is this the authentic choice I want to make? So that's the second thing. We've got to tap into, where is my inspiration for doing it this way? The third one is to get on board for what you've chosen, or renegotiate that choice and make a new commitment. But we've got to be choosing from inspiration and not fear or doubt. And for her, she'd have like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And there'd be this inspiration. And then when it actually came to the day, it was like, oh, I'm so busy and I'm so overwhelmed and I don't really want to do this, but let me push myself through it anyway. And so the invitation is like, no, get on board for your choice. Don't buy into your victim story that it's too overwhelming. I don't have enough energy. I'm going to wipe myself out. Source yourself instead. And so instead of choosing from doubt of like, oh, I really don't feel like it, choose from inspiration and go back to that initial choice of like, why did you create this? And what is the possibility that's in here that if I could receive it fluidly, I can see what new possibilities can come in. Sometimes there's a new inspiration, like something that came up for me recently. I made this commitment. We're getting together with, there's like 11 of us from residency. I'm super psyched about it. But then something else came in that's also a 10 out of 10, and I'm so jazzed about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same weekend. This isn't good. Okay, I'd be anxious for nothing. How can I receive both? So I've asked the group if we can change the date so I can accommodate both. And everyone was like, yeah, we'll totally do that. And I was like, oh, yes, and how can I receive all of it? What happens a lot of times is we'll have an inspiration and then, oh, but I can't have it. And we get into our nitty gritty of like our own victim story. And especially when something comes in that's really juicy, or it's in the example of someone else living it, and you think, oh, well, that's what they have, so I can't have it. Or because of blah, 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 I can't have it. And then you're jealous of them, not realizing if you remove that filter of victim, you'd see, yes, please, yes, and me too. I'll have what she's having. It is already coming into your life. You'd see that this is life inviting you to it by your own spark of, oh, she's doing it that way? Yeah, I want to have some of that. So you can receive it just by virtue of that perspective shift. And then the last one was to use your ability. Remember, to use your ability to create by playing in the possibility channel, which is where all these things reside, instead of playing in the I don't have it channel. So she had to get off. That's where the like being jealous of others comes in. Like, oh, I don't have it. Instead of the yes, please, be in the yes and play on the possibility channel, because that's a higher frequency where these juicy possibilities and synchronous arrangements reside. So that is my invitation to you. Certainly we're going to be playing with this much more in depth in the membership. If you'd like to join me in the Mind Body Live membership, especially in January, we'll be going a lot more into manifestation. Right now, we'll be moving into like releasing old ways of being as the year is ending. And there's really a lot of aliveness you have in you where you can begin to create your new year from a much deeper space. So I would love to guide you through this. It's at drkimd.com/membership if you'd like to be part of that live program with me. And for all of you, sending you so much love for your being in your own creation and remembering I'm a divine creator. I can allow and invite things into my life with grace and ease just by playing this way. So much love to you. I'll see you soon.